Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, safe one. Let's make it a great week, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Learn to ask questions. Don't make assumptions. It is always better to ask questions than to make an assumption. Have the courage to ask the questions until you're as clear as you can be. Once you hear the answer to the question, you won't have to make the assumption because you'll know the truth. This card's a trip. What happens if they don't tell you the truth? Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials down 77, Nasdaq off 14, S&P's off 4.5. Gold contract down $32, trading out at $1,217 an ounce. We'll talk about gold. Gold's going to go after that low of the June low. Silver down 91 cents, trading out at $19.12 an ounce. Platinum off 21 at $1,340 an ounce. Copper down 3 pennies at $3.17 a pound. Light sweet crude up $1, trading out at $93.84. You have bonds down 31.6 at 131.08. King dollar, she's up 278, trading out at 80.93. You got the euro down 53 at 135, and the yen is at 102.97. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? So you get a small roll. You're down 6.92. What you have is this, is that we have been at the same place now for about a week and a half, trading. The low that we got under today was at 1802. Now, we'll see we'll get an expansion. What you definitely had out here today, you had selling in the small caps, you had selling in the S&P. You did not have selling in the Nasdaq just yet. But the actual cash S&P, it's inside the lower range right now. You had to come down with some volume. So we're at 1798. The next level there is 1777. We take a look at the Dow Industrials, what the Dow did out here. She was down a few dollars. She was down $77. She's got a long way before she's getting in the lower range. Right now we're at 16,008. The Dow's got to come back to 15,700 for that lower range. We take a look at the Nasdaq Composite. Now, Composite, what the Composite did is this. You had last Friday, of course, was 3.5 hours, no juice. You're going to have to expect no juice in the marketplace. You pull back slightly today, $14, which is not a lot. The Composite itself, we're at 4045. The Composite, we have to get back under 3947 in order to get into the lower range. We take a look at the NDX 100, and inside the NDX 100, what you also have is that you came down $6.50, not a big deal. We're at 3481. We'd have to get to 3408. What you do have, let's go over to small caps for a second, because what you had right off the bat this morning is you had selling in these small caps. The Russell's down $13. We're at 1129, and to be inside the lower range in the Russell, you're almost there. We're only $6 below that. So the Russell at this particular point is the weakest. If we do go over to the IWM and take a look at the IWM, what you'll see, you come down $1.14. You had expansion of volume, 41 million shares. The lower range in this is 111.62. You get back inside that, you get some action. We go to the SPY. We just take a look at the SPY. What you have with the SPY, also an expansion of volume, 94 million. It's going to need a lot more. The SPY is going to basically try to make a run, I suspect, tomorrow down to this one. Well, it's not going to go 3 points in one day. We'll see. The last swing point out here is 177.98. It wants to make a run for that baby down there. The 3 Qs, the correlation inside the 3 Qs go like this. We did 25 million shares. Hard to crack, though. What you did have happening inside the 3 Qs, it was Sears, Ross Stores, and Tesla that was taking the baby down. That's notwithstanding that Apple couldn't hold higher price. Apple had got to a price point today of $564, closed at $551. Google also couldn't hold the higher prices. Big momentum it's had up there. Google got as high as 1,066, closed at 1,054. Amazon, what happened with Amazon? She had got to 399, she closed at 392. So none of those higher flyers could basically hold that price. Gold contract. Now let's take a look at gold. We are on 2004. We're on the March contract, 2004. She did 136,000 contracts. She's at 1217. Okay, so what you have, folks, is this. The 28th of June, the low is 1187. The high was 1231. Once you get into that bar, guess what? We're going into the bottom of that bar. It's going to spike this bar. So we'll see how it goes after. I suspect it's going to go after it the next couple of days. What you did have is that you broke the lowest swing points out here today. Now, you didn't break them with volume. If we go take a look at the GLD, but bottom line wants to get down there. We take a look at the GLD 10 million shares. That 10 million shares, folks, is going into 32 million. So the GLD right now is trading at 117.58. The low is 114.68. It's going to get down there. It's going to go try to spike it in. Now, that's a nice way of spiking it. What you have is that you get a big contraction of volume before you're actually to the bottom of that bar. The bottom of that bar is 114.16. We're at 117.58. You have 10 million versus 32 million. And what you also have there, the day prior to that low, you did 30 million. So that's a pretty solid number. I expect that more than likely you are going to get into it, number one, and you very well may spike it. Bonds. We go over to the bond market. We take a look at bonds. We have with bonds, pull back, lighter volume. Bonds, bottom line, want to go higher. King dollar. King dollar is just on the move. You know, bottom line, we have with King dollar. She was up 278 ticks out here today. She's lining up for a big run. You know, we've been building cause since November 1st in King dollar, and that's a full month. She's moved 3 separate times, wide price spread, accelerated volume. We're at this 80.93, and you know she wants to run to this $83, $84. That's going to be a big number. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? Let's go take a look at some of the high volume stocks out here. You had BAC down 9 cents. We had, let's see, JCPenney was off 18. Ford was down 2. Marbell was down 21. We take a look at some of the Dow stocks. This is what you have inside the Dow stocks. Big Blue looks like it's going to go after these lows again. That was down 220, trading out at 177. You had Exxon flat at 93.52. Oxy was down 20. Marbell was off 41. You had Walmart up 10 cents. Excuse me. Microsoft was up 32. If we go over and we take a look at Microsoft, we have with Microsoft, she got over a high today, closed over all those levels too. We closed at 38.45. Anything over 38.22 is a higher level. That's what that comes down to. Big Blue. We take a look at Big Blue. What we have with Big Blue is this. And this will, no doubt, as Big Blue keeps moving to lower price, this is what hits the Dow pretty heavily. So when we take a look at Big Blue, she's gone from 210 to 177. She did a nice counter trend bounce about 2 weeks ago, got up to 186. All that was doing was filling the gap. She's coming after the lower swing points again now. She hit one of them today with lighter volume. That swing point was 177.31. She closed at 177.48. So what you're going to see here, you're going to see it, number one, open, more than likely under that swing, and go for the bottom. And the bottom is at 173.25. We'll see whether she goes for the bottom tomorrow. If she went for the bottom tomorrow, I don't think she'd have the amount of energy to take that bottom out, because the bottom has 22 million shares trading there. She just breaks the minor swing point, which is the 177.31 tomorrow, and then hangs out at that bottom. Then she's going to get some action to turn around and try to get down into where I suspect she wants to trade, which is down into that 157 area. So there's a lot of room underneath that this market can go to. Let's see, with banks. Let's go to Jpmorgan. We take a look at good old Jpmorgan. So Jpmorgan down 24 cents, no big deal there. Yeah, but guess what? She's inside the lower range. Okay, so she tucked her head out last week. Last week, Jpmorgan on the 25th got up to 58.14, couldn't handle it. She's in the lower range again. Anything under 56.93, she's in the lower range. And you want to keep an eye on these ranges, folks, because we were above these ranges, no fear whatsoever. Bottom line, markets can only go one way, and guess what? It's not going to happen. 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Come right back.